Hello, good day, everyone. My name is Mr. Omo Godwin, and I'm glad to have you on this amazing learning platform. Today, we'll be learning something interesting. Have you heard of the word conflict before? Do you know the meaning of conflict? Have you heard of international conflict? That word, international, what does it mean? International. And this other word here, conflict, does it really sound nice? Is it something good? So we'll be considering this lesson today in civic education. That's in our RNV. I would like for you to come up with your writing materials and writing pen. It promises to be an interesting one. I am excited to meet you on this amazing learning platform. So if you're ready to learn today, I am ready. So let's get started. What is conflict? What is conflict? Yep. So many times, some words you are not familiar with, but they mean some things that you know already. For the word conflict, it means what? Disagree. Yep. Disagree. Disagreement. You can see conflict, it means disagreement. You look at this guy here, and you can see the group of people here. Now, who do you disagree with? In conflict, you can either have a disagreement or a clash. And sometimes it will lead to violence. Violence means blow, brawl. It could result into a fight, like what we are seeing here now. It could result into fights. That's what I mean by violence between groups or individual. So conflict can ensue between either an individual or group. In this case here, the boy and the girl is an individual. Here on my left, it means group. Now, conflict between groups and individuals. Something don't forget, very important. We are trying to say here today that conflict can, most times, it results into violence between two opposing groups. Opposing means they are not agreeing. There's something wrong, but they are not agreeing. They don't just go together. They are not on the same terms, so they disagree between groups or individual. Now, what is international conflict? Traditionally, the term international refers to something that has to do with the outside world, the borders of your country, the borders of your state, the borders of Nigeria, beyond the shores of Nigeria. International means what takes us outside. For example, we have international football as the World Cup. Yes, that's an international game because it is a game that is played outside the country. Every other country is involved. So the international conflict here refers to conflict between different nations and states. And this conflict can also lead to people in organization and different states. Yeah, very important. It could be nations or states between different people. It is not within, it's not people in the same sphere. Now, the unit has gone beyond their scope. So you see people in country A having a conflict with another set of people in country B. Now, that's a different scope. And so that's what we refer to as international conflict. Like you can see here on my chart, what we have there is this here represents. Who can tell me what country flag is this? A quick one. I need somebody. Oh, boy, you are so close. How about this? All right, let me give it to you free of charge. I'll give it free of charge. So this is the United States of America, and that is China. Okay, now, this conflict between these two countries is an example of an international conflict. Yes, because it is outside their borders, outside the shores of the country. So that's what it is. International conflict refers to conflict between countries, nations, or states outside the shores and border of a given country. Now, conflict in group. There's something that usually causes it. Number one, it can be caused by differences of opinion. When Mr. Man here is having a different opinion from what this guy believes. So there's going to be, first, there will be disagreement between members. Disagreement means they won't agree with each other. No, they will never agree. And sometimes it can lead to scarcity of resources. The reason why people may go into conflicts, we follow this course. It is a routine, it's a process that leads into international conflict. Differences of opinion. Your opinion, what you are thinking right now, is quite different from what other people are thinking. So because you are thinking in line A, someone is thinking in line Z, wow, that could result into conflict. And that is really, really not good. So what do we do, Mr. Moore? Someone say, what do we do? Now, the opposing forces created the conflict within the story. Then it comes in 4 basic types. Now, we can have conflict with ourselves. We can have conflict with others. We can have conflict with the environment. And we can have conflict with the supernatural. But today, for our purpose and for this study, we are going to talk about conflict with others. We'll dwell here. Look at these guys here. That's really, really funny. Conflict with other people. And this one, we are dealing with international conflict. That's what we are dealing with. Okay? Because we are going beyond our borders. So let's see what we have there. Now, what are the common factors that lead to conflict? There are things that will lead people into conflict. What are those things exactly? What are the things that lead into conflict? Number one, it is poor communication. When people cannot communicate, in communication we have to end. There's an encoder and a decoder. If I talk, for example, you should be able to understand what I'm saying and comprehend. Okay, this guy is just talking and nobody is hearing him. They are just nosing away. There is no communication. When communication is very poor, it can lead to conflict. When we have lack of planning, if the government and the country refuse to plan properly, it leads to conflict. If there is no respect, you have to respect. I made earlier, I was trying to cite a case study for you, that you are thinking in line A or the path of A, and you have someone with the opinion of Z. You don't have to pick a fight with them. Respect other people's opinion. Come on, you respect people's opinion. You may not be on the same platform, you may not be on the same level, but respect their opinion. So if there is no respect, there is going to be what? Conflict. And trust. If there is no trust, people don't trust their government, they don't trust who they are dealing with. It could be business partner outside the show. Yeah, it can result into conflict. So these are some of the common factors that lead to conflict. Now, it's important for us to know that we must respect others. We have said that. We need to try to treat others the way we want to be treated. I think they call that the golden rule. Yep. Do unto others what you want them to do to you. Yeah, they call that the golden rule. So sometimes also they say respect is reciprocal. Okay. Now, when you want people to respect you, you also have to respect them. Respect their view, respect their ideology, respect their religion, respect their own perspective. It's very important for us to note that. Okay. So we need to respect others. Examples in real life situation, like currently now, there's a lot of conflict going on, international conflict. In the news, in the papers, it is everywhere. For example, we have conflict between the USA and the Taliban in Afghanistan. This kind of conflict is an international conflict. The conflict also between India and Pakistan. Can you see that now? That's an international conflict because it has gone beyond borders. I call it borders. Yes. The United States of America, the Afghanistan, they are always doing what? They are in conflicts, they are in close fights. Now that is a very good example of a real life situation of what? International conflict. Now the conflict between the US, we have said here, there is a conflict that is real in real life. So if you want to cite an example and someone say, oh, we just thought, I'm not sure it is happening. It is. I'm sorry to break the bubble. I'm sorry to break it to you, but hello guys, it is happening right now. There are conflicts amongst countries in the world internationally. So it's not just on paper, it's happening real. So, but how can we resolve conflict? Number one, there's what we call the international body, the UN. UN can come in to help us resolve international conflicts. There's a body that is called UN. So this body here, international body, they help us to resolve conflicts. Now, there's also, we'll have the mediator. Someone, who is a mediator? A mediator is someone that can stand in between two countries fighting. Country A is fighting, country B. Then we have mediator. It's coming at the middle to help bring them together, to help break the gap and say, hey guys, you guys should come back. For example, the third party nation is what we call a mediator. Okay, if Nigeria is having issue with another country, United States of America can send someone. That person that they send can now stand as a mediator, but representing the United States of America. All right. So that's a mediator. International body also, they use these guys, peacekeepers. Sometimes they can be armed and sometimes they can be unarmed because they are military men. They ensure that there is peace restored in every country that conflict is ongoing. So they try to enforce peace, and that's their duty. Okay? So peacekeeping, it helps to do what? It helps to halt the violence. Although there's still open talks, people will be talking, but they ensure that there is peace and normalcy will return again. Can't you see these guys here? It's so cute. We pray not to see war, but the time of war and conflict is not a good time. You will not be able to smile like the little kids there. A conclusion, why peacekeeping is very important for us to make peace wherever we find ourselves. And I want you also to please respect other people's view. Let's have a very good communication means. You need to trust people as you move on in life. And by doing this, we'll reduce the rate of conflicts. Thank you for listening, and bye.